everyone, and thanks for joining me. As promised in my live video 2 weeks ago, I am going to show you how to remove iron-on or heat transfer vinyl in this video. I'm going to show you two different methods and why I would use one method over the other in which particular circumstance. So the two methods are, one, using an iron, or you can use your easy press. I find an iron a little bit easier to do this process with, but you can do either one. And two is using a vinyl letter remover. Now I'm using one called TRW, there's also one called VLR, and a couple others. I will link them in the description below the video, but they all work the same way. So I have this shirt. This is just an old shirt that I made. I actually think this is one of the first iron-on shirts I ever made with my Cricut. But say I just want to remove one letter. Maybe I have a typo in here, or maybe my letter wrinkled up a little bit when I applied it, or I forgot to mirror something. If I just want to remove one letter or one little piece of my iron-on, I'm going to use the iron method. And to do that, I'm just going to put the letter, let's try to remove the letter Y. So let's say that's just buckled up and we just want to replace the letter Y, but we don't want to mess with anything else. So I'm going to take my shirt and I'm going to place it over my iron and right where that Y is. Now you want to be really careful you don't burn yourself, and you want to work relatively quickly because you don't want to send your shirt. I've got the iron on a cotton setting and I'm just using some tweezers, and I can just heat that Y up and begin to roll it off. And that easily you can remove a mistake. Now again, you want to work quickly, you don't want to burn the shirt. This is an old shirt, so I really don't care, but you might want to take a little break for a second and then heat it back up and finish removing the vinyl. Now again, this works if you just need to remove one little letter. I wouldn't use this method to remove a big design, but it does work relatively well just to remove a letter without disturbing the rest of your transfer. And just that easily, we've got it off. Let me pull this out. Again, be very careful if you're using this method. So I just removed that Y. Now I could have taken a little bit more time to get that completely off. But you can see I removed the Y. I could put another letter over that and everything would be good to go. So what if we want to remove a whole word? Well, let's just remove the word bug. If you want to remove a big design or a big area, that's when I recommend using the liquid vinyl remover. It's a little bit harder if I just wanted to remove that Y, to get this vinyl remover to only hit the Y and not end up messing up the M and everything else. So if you can, or you have an area that you don't really need to contain, I would recommend using the liquid. So I'm using my easy press mat, by the way, to iron on. I'm just going to put a towel under there to keep the chemical from going into my mat. But I'm just going to use this remover, and it comes with this little applique, and no matter which brand you get, they're all just about the same. And you're just going to douse that over your word or your design or whatever you're trying to remove, and you can see immediately it starts to bubble up. I think you can see that in the camera. Starts to bubble up that iron-on. So you're just going to let that bubble for a minute. You can stretch it a little bit to help it along, help it release. And all that's doing is dissolving that adhesive that's in the vinyl. And once it starts to bubble up, you can very easily remove your vinyl. And just that simple. This works really, really well. And it's nice to have on hand just in case. And it leaves very little residue. Again, this is like almost a shade of red. It's a hot pink on a white shirt. So there's very little residue there. And I could easily repress it. Now, when you use the liquid remover, you can dry this with the iron or the easy press. And once it's dry, you can press right over it. It won't leave a water ring or a watermark or anything like that. All you do is dry it and then you can press right back over it. And again, this is just an old shirt, so I'm not going to repress it or anything. I just wanted to use it for demonstration. But again, 2 ways to do it. The liquid remover is great for larger areas, larger designs, full words. Maybe you just want to reuse a shirt and take it off. You forgot to mirror, something like that. Using the iron and just heating up a area, if you're going to just remove a word, works really well. But you need to work quickly so that you do not burn your shirt. That's the only thing I don't like about using this method. But you can see just that quickly I'm already removing this letter E. And you might want to put your iron on a lower temperature. I've got mine on cotton, but I would probably use a lower temperature if this was a shirt I was really going to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video on how to remove iron-on / heat transfer vinyl. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to click that little bell notification when you subscribe. That will make sure that you get an email notification every time a new video is released. And until next time, never stop making. See you guys. Bye-bye.